Welcome back, everybody. My name is Taylor Martin. This is the best Damn EDC, and it's time for another video. And today I'm doing the second version of the complete EDC challenge. I don't know. I don't have a name for the series, but it's clearly going to be a series because you guys clearly liked the first version of it I did, which was the $50 Amazon complete EDC, which got me this stuff here on the table minus the watch because I forgot the watch at home. But this stuff right here plus a $10 Casio watch, that was what I got for 50 bucks on Amazon. I said if that video got to 2,000 likes, which it did just 2 or 3 days ago, that I would carry this stuff for a week. But I also thought that a week isn't quite long enough. It's not torture. It's not a punishment. It's not, I don't learn a ton from a week. So 2 weeks, I will be carrying this stuff and wearing that Casio watch for 2 weeks. But anyway, I will take my thoughts from that video and turn it into another video telling you guys what it's like stepping back from carrying, a $100 pen to a $4 or $2 pen and swapping all of these expensive things that I normally carry out with these budget items, and just my thoughts on what that's like. But now, because I've done this one, I want to step it up. I'm going to do $100 on Amazon. That's what we're doing today. A complete EDC on Amazon with a budget of $100, getting these same items. So pen, wallet, watch, knife, keychain organizer of some sort, and a flashlight. Let's do the thing. We're back. I'm on Amazon. I've got $100 to spend, and I'm trying to put together the best complete EDC possible. And I still honestly feel that $100 is fairly reasonable for a complete EDC. In fact, it's very cheap or budget friendly for an entire EDC, because there are, I think, in every single category, we've got wallet, watch, keys, pen, flashlight, knife. And I think all of those categories have an item that's over $100 just for one item. There are plenty of over $100 wallets, over $100 watches for sure, knives, absolutely, pens, absolutely, even key organizers. There are $100 plus key organizers out there. So for $100 for all of those items, I think it's still fairly reasonable, and it could be tough. But having gone through about 2 of these items, the first time I shot this video, I realized this is way more difficult than the other video, the $50 budget, because with the $50 budget, I was sorting by lowest price and looking for the cheapest thing, and then looking slightly higher and just trying to push that limit. But now we've got twice as much money to work with. And before, just outside of our budget for each of those items were really, really good items. So now we have a selection of really great items with a lot more budget to work with, and it's harder to make those decisions. Before it was like, oh, there are 2 options, I'll go with this one. Now there's like 10 or 20 options in that budget that are phenomenal. Let's do this. I will go ahead and say, when I ran through this the first time, I had a hunch that an Ontario rat would probably be the knife that I choose, mainly because I usually select that knife. I tell people, if you're looking for a knife under 50 bucks, get the D2 version of the rat, and the 1 or 2 doesn't matter. Choose the size that you want and go with that knife. The rat 2, I've not had one. I've had a rat 1 in AUS 8. A rat 2, I want one in D2 just to have, because it's a phenomenal beater knife. And if I can get a rat 2, I'm going to get it. So that's going to be what I'm going to start with, just to get the ball rolling so we can kind of work through the rest of the budget. So rat 2 D2 is going to be the knife that I'm going to start with. That's how I started last time. It's about $38. So that is a significant portion of our budget. About a third of the budget is going to the knife. And I think that's okay. That's okay. But the problem is that none of these rats are Prime eligible, except for the more expensive ones or the AUS 8 ones. So I'm trying to find one that's in the budget and D2 and Prime eligible, and I don't know that I'll be able to do it unless I spend $45 for the tan version, which I don't really want. So what I did before is I selected the green, because you guys know I love OD green, and I added it to cart, and then we'll come back to it. It says Monday, April 8th, which is about a week from now. So we'll see what happens when we get to the cart. So that is $38.77 for the Ontario Rat 2. I cannot type tonight. $38.77. All right, so the flashlight, I originally started with the Streamlight Micro Stream, and I was looking for the USB rechargeable. I didn't realize it was 30 bucks. We could do that. We could, and we would have about $30 left in our budget. And that would be $30 for a pen, a wallet, watch, and a key solution. So 30 bucks for those. And we'd basically be doing what we did last time. I don't want to do that. The original MicroStream, the AAA version, is an option for $16.99. I've never had one, and I wouldn't mind having one. And we're not going to find a USB rechargeable flashlight for really cheap, I don't think. I mean, we could just try USB rechargeable flashlight, and then we could sort by low to high like we did last time and see what pops up. I imagine it's going to be a lot of stuff I don't want. Like Prozor and Zuglon and Foxelli. I, of course, don't want a headlamp, but yeah, the options here are kind of scant. Your USB rechargeable lights are a wall dongle that's USB that goes to the battery charger. That's not USB rechargeable, like this one right here. But these are all just very generic Cree flashlights. They're nothing spectacular. That's interesting. UV black light flashlights. You pull the tail cap off and just plug it straight into the USB port. I'm sure that is great. Moving on, I'm not seeing anything really great. In fact, this is a lot of stuff I don't want anything to do with any of this. Yeah, page 2 is not really looking any better, guys. This one was 20 bucks when I did my video, and they are not to be found now. We do have the i1R EOS. I mean, that could work. The i1R is a great flashlight, and it is USB rechargeable, so it is an option. Well, there's actually a decent alternative, a AAA ThruNite T10 magnetic tail cap, side switch 550 lumens, Cree XPG2, 5 modes, $19.99. It's not bad. That's a pretty decent option. You know what? Let's add this one to cart. It's $19.99 for the ThruNite T10. Something different than what we got last time. So ThruNite T10, $19.99, and we are up to $58.76. So we've got about 41 left. So let's go to all departments and search pen. That's a really broad term. We could look for a tactical pen. Doesn't CRKT have one that's like decently priced? The Gerber Impromptu would be nice, but that's $53. A little outside our budget right now. Tactical pen. CRKT Williams, that's $40. I swear that Smith & Wesson, was it them? One of these brands had a decent tactical pen for like 20 bucks that wasn't aluminum. A lot of these are anodized aluminum, and that's not... I think it was this, the Smith & Wesson. There's a Schrade as well. If I sort by lowest price, we're gonna get some really bad garbage. Banggood, yeah, these are not gonna be great pins. I do have one of these, the screwdriver pin. I have it in brass. This is not what I wanted. Check out that Smith & Wesson really quickly. Yeah, I don't like it. Let's not do it. What happens when I search EDC pin? Now, of course, I could go with the actual Fisher Spaceman bullet, which is obviously a very popular option when it comes to the EDC world, but I don't want to do that necessarily. That almost feels like a cop-out. We could get these Polka pins, but I'm not paying $13 for a 2-pack of Polka pins when they're normally like $4 or less. So we've got the Boker. That is actually nice, the Boker micarta pin for $27. When we only have like 40 left to spend, not gonna happen. The Fisher Space Pin, the original, we've got the F701, but I feel like that would also be a cop-out because last time I got the F301. There is the telescoping space pin, that's $24 though. I've not used one of those, that would be nice to try. But again, $24 for the pin. Do I wanna do that? Not really. I don't know this brand. I don't know the brand at all. Ekloen? I don't know that I like it, but I like that it's brass. Of course. Okay, I got some ideas now. I would like to see what inserts go with this pin before I buy it. Brass pin. I gotta search it, you know? I gotta try. There is the Machine Era. That's outside our budget though. Kaweco. We're getting somewhere. Kaweco's gonna be outside our budget every time. Oh, that's pretty neat. A small bolt action pin, a very small bolt action, but it's got 3 stars. I just don't trust a lot of these companies. Like, what are the compatible inserts? They don't tell you, so you buy it and then forget about it and buy another one. Like, I don't want to do that. There's one that comes with 12 inserts. That looks very much like maybe a G2, like a Pilot G2. All right, let's, there is a Zebra tactical pen. We're gonna try that and see what theirs was. I don't remember. They were supposed to send me one and it never, ever came. X701. You know what? I might go with this. Is it a click pin? It's a 1 count pin. Is it a click pin? What is it? It looks like a click Extreme ballpoint pen, pressurized barrel. Because I've not seen it and it's $14.99, we're gonna add that to cart. Added to cart, $73.75, $14.99. So we are at $73.75. We have to get a key organizer, a watch, and a wallet for 25 bucks. So key organizer. Let's see what we can find. Sort by low. That would be cool, a pocket clip key organizer of some sort. If I get a key organizer and nothing else, I would definitely want to have one with some sort of key clip or something like this, like some sort of S-beaner or a pocket clip or something. I don't know that key organizers are gonna work for us. I could go with like a key dangler, maybe. Can't afford a key bar in our budget. Search key clip, see what happens with key clip. Got this little guy right here. These aren't too terribly expensive, are they? $8.19, a 1-pack. It's $5 even. That just goes on a belt, right? They don't really show much. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, that clips around a belt and your keys go on that. I've seen and heard a lot about these. I've not actually used one. I like that, $5. Let's add to cart. There's also the Key Smart Nano Clip. That is an option for $7, but I like this for $5. Watch is next. Let's search EDC watch and see what pops up. Timex Expedition Scout. That's around that budget. I like that one. We have $20, $21.25 left. We still have to get a wallet. So we may have to go cheaper with one of these items, but I would actually really like to get this watch. Like really, I like this watch. I do have the field chronograph, the Timex Expedition field chronograph, but I like that one and I like this one. That's a solid watch. Don't like that. $34.28. We're gonna go over budget really quickly, and we're gonna have to reel it in. I want that on this budget. So we're at $113.03. We need a wallet, EDC wallet. We're gonna have to go cheaper. I might have to get a cheaper knife, which isn't the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. We're gonna have to reel it in. I might need to go with a cheaper pen too, to be honest. Minimalist wallet. Let's just search that. Let's search minimalist wallet again, because I don't do much outside that. I usually only ever carry a minimalist wallet, unless I'm carrying a big old organizer with all of my stuff in it. There's the Herschel. There's always the Herschel, the Charlie. That is a solid option. We're gonna add that just as a keepsake and go back to this and see if there's anything else in our range. I'd like to stick around where we're at right now with the wallet, like 14, 15 bucks. Because I think the wallet is gonna be low priority for a lot of people. That's just a hunch. You could also go with one of these thread wallets, which I've had in the past. I like the thread wallets, to be completely honest. A lot of the designs are a little much for me. That bonsai is not bad. I actually like that one, the deep. All right, we're gonna add that to cart as well. So we're well over budget now, $42 over budget. That's okay. We are gonna save the zebra pin for later, because I don't think we need to spend $15 on the pin. That brings us down to $127. I think the Herschel is very much like what we had last time, that Travel Lambo. So I'm gonna go with an elastic wallet this time and save that for later too. So we're $13.04 over budget. And I think this is really solid for 100 bucks. So I could either get a cheaper watch, which a lot of you might suggest doing, getting a cheaper watch, or foregoing the watch altogether. But that's not about that. This is not about what you would do. It's about what can I put together for 50 bucks, or 100 bucks, not 50, 100 bucks. I think we try to find a cheaper flashlight and a cheaper knife. So if we're going for a better knife, under 50 bucks, under $40 really, not quite sure where to go. We could go with a Cadet. That would not be a bad knife to get for this, because you're getting a multi-tool. But I'm gonna say something that's not really a popular opinion. Very unpopular opinion. I'm not a fan of the Cadet. I don't like it. I much prefer the Pioneer. But we've got a lot of room to work with that knife. You can get a really great knife for under 20 bucks, or for under 30 bucks even. So we're gonna skip through all this. Don't want a Gerber paraframe. We're gonna go a little nicer than we did last time. We're still not quite where I wanna be. There's the Swerve, the Oso, the Polar. There is the Polar, but I'd like to go with something better than your 8CR13 MOV. That's why I went with the D2 version of the Ontario Rat, but here's a Rat 2 and AUS 8. We could go AUS 8, but really would prefer to go with a D2 knife. Oh, look, we have the knockoff of the Rat, the Cancu C301, a blatant ripoff of the Ontario Rat. And there's another F&Grow EF04, blatant ripoff of the Ontario Rat. We do have the steel wheel cut jack, but that's the same price. Actually, a little bit more than what we were looking at. So, steel wheel, we're looking at the same price, really. There's a $29 version, actually. Is that going to be a different blade steel? Actually, D2 FRN handles, cut jack 29, add to cart, moving on. Save the Ontario Rat for later. We're at 103.64. Oh, and I've got to add a pin back. Jesus. Uh-oh. There's the Aurora for 26. That's a little more than what we were spending. There's the Thorfire. The Streamlight Microstream is $3 cheaper. That's saving $3. $17.99. Let's sort by low price and filter by prime. See what we can find. Brunite TI3. That is $13.95. That is a AAA flashlight. It's going to be worth waiting 3 days for it to be in stock. Save that 20%. Add to cart. So $16.88. That'll bring the price to $13.50 for the Lumen Top tool. Heck yeah. Okay, so $13.50 for that flashlight. Back to minimalist wallets. See what we can find. I don't want to get the same wallet though. Kins D Minimalist Slim Wallet Elastic Front Pocket Credit Card Holder for men. That is not the one I was looking at. This is the one I was looking at. So this is very similar to the Thread wallet. It looks reasonably well made, but I've been burned by elastic wallets like this before. I truly don't mind elastic wallets like this, but in order to get the steel wheel cut jack and this Timex and the Lumen Top tool, we're gonna go with a $6 wallet. We're at $91.52, so we got about $8 for a pin. We have been doing this for 40 minutes already. 40 minutes, and I'm ready to go home. It is after 1 a.m. It is 1:11, so I'm ready to wrap this up. So let's pick a pin. Let's pick a pin. $8.98 prime. I think this is it. Looks about like the rest of them. Add to cart. Add to cart. I'm over this. $100.50. So by the time we proceed to checkout and start the checkout process, it will be under $97.12. We're doing it. We're just doing it. I'm over it. Place order. Stuff is on its way. I will see you guys again when it gets here. So here we are, all of these things finally arrived. I was actually afraid the flashlight was going to be the thing holding us up because it wasn't supposed to come till today, and it came early again. So I guess the moral of the story is don't doubt Lumen Top. They're going to come through anyway, I guess. I don't know. But here we are with the 6 items I purchased last week. We've got the Parker Jotter, we have the Lumen Top Tool AAA, we have the Steel Wheel Cut Jack Mini, the Timex Expedition Scout, a Kins Minimalist wallet, and a Zac Tool tactical keyring holder. And don't mind the scratches on my arm. I was just playing with the dog in the office, so oops. Got him riled up right before I was like, chill, I gotta shoot a video. With that stuff out of the way, let's start with the wallet, because I think this is probably, this time around, what you guys would have done differently, maybe? I don't know. So this is the Kinzd, K-I-N-Z-D, minimalist wallet. It is elastic, and this was one of the cheapest things in the EDC this time. Like I said, with $100, it would have been easier to just get a nicer wallet, but I don't know. I feel like if I've got a tight budget, I would rather skimp on a wallet and get some nicer things, because anything that holds my cards is going to be fine. As long as it holds the stuff in my pocket and isn't too bulky, it's going to be fine. And I've used these elastic wallets before, not this particular brand, but I backed tight wallets on Kickstarter when they first launched. I've bought thread wallets from Amazon. I've had several elastic wallets over the years, and this is actually probably my favorite style, the vertical card wallet. And this thing actually seems to be made pretty well. Elastic is very, very tight. It was only $6, $5.99. You've got this little key ring, and it's made from medical grade elastic. Whatever that means, I don't really know what medical grade elastic is. Maybe for, you know, knee braces, ankle braces, I don't know. But this is a very, very tough elastic, much stronger than the thread wallet that I purchased, and about on par, maybe a little better than the tight wallet. And the thread wallet that I purchased actually came with pretty poor stitching, and I actually bought a different wallet. Back when I did the EDC, the very last EDC video over on Mod, I purchased an elastic wallet for that video, and the stitching on it was horrible. It was not a very good wallet, and this is much, much better, and I think this one's actually cheaper. That one was like $10, this is $6. But you do have your 2 pockets, so 3 technically, because you're gonna have your cards in here, you're gonna have a front pocket and a rear pocket. Those do not have bottoms on them. Actually, this one does. I take that back. This one has a bottom on it. So you could put memory cards, coins, a key in there if you want. But this front pocket, wow, I didn't actually realize that at the time. This one will hold your money, your cash, your folded, quartered cash. You have a slot for your cards, and then you do have an actual bottom sewn pocket there. So that's actually pretty neat. That's a Kinged wallet, $6, $5.99. Not a bad deal. And I do think if you guys were gonna go with something else, this would probably be it. You would probably go with a different minimalist wallet. But I'm actually a fan of these really, really, truly minimal elastic wallets. There you go. And from the earlier part of the video, you guys know that I was hell-bent on getting this watch in this $100 budget. And this is, again, probably something you guys would have maybe skipped on, gone with the Casio watch from the last video and gotten an even nicer knife. But this is the one I went with because I'm on a kick for field watches right now. And I have the Expedition Field chronograph from Timex. I like it, but I also wanted the Scout, the Expedition Scout, which looks very similar. It's also a field watch. The main difference here is that this is not a chronograph. So the other is a chronograph. It's got a timer on it. This one does not. Let's take off the current watch I have on. You've got your typical 12 indexes. You also have your 13 through 24 for your 24-hour time. You have a date complication and a nice yellow second hand. But one thing you also get with this, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it with the lights on in here, you have Indiglow. It says it right there, but if you push the crown in, you actually get a backlight. So even if the looms on this watch aren't fantastic, you also have that backlighting, which is green and very subtle, but when the lights are out, when it's totally dark outside, that subtle green glow will help you see what time it is. And it's not by lighting up the hands. In fact, it's backlighting the hands so you can see what time it is. I still prefer a watch that's got really great looms over that. But this is actually a 40mm watch. Can't even get the band undone. It's a 20mm band, and your thickness on this is 11mm. I didn't get the weight on it, but I love this little gunmetal matte finish on the watch, and it's gonna probably look kind of small on my wrist because I do have pretty large wrists. I do like the way this looks. I'm actually going to set the time now. It is 3:15. I like this. I will maybe actually continue to wear this. But I paid $34.28 for this watch. It's a little more expensive now, just a couple of cents more. I like it. I think it's a great budget watch. I was hellbent. I was not gonna finish this video without getting this watch. Next up is the key situation. I wasn't too thrilled on this, but it was budget friendly, and I needed to skimp in some areas, and this was just what happened. This is the Zac Tool tactical keyring holder, and this is actually a belt holder. So it's not a pocket dangler. This actually goes over a belt. It fits on belts up to 2.25 inches. And you've got this really big split ring here. If I can get it out. So this part right here slips over your belt, and your keys actually go down in here, and this stays on your belt, and when you need to remove your keys, just pull up on that, split ring comes off, and it slides right back down when you need it. I think that's a really neat solution because right now, currently what I have on my keys is this snake hook, the snake bite snake hook, and this goes over my belt as well. But when I need my keys, I've got to take them off this tiny little key clip, and it's really kind of hard to do one-handed. The magnetic quick release on my car keys is fine, that's great. But for this, when I go check the post office, when I'm here at the office, and I've got to open the door, I've got to either take this whole thing off my belt, which is not exactly fun to do, or somehow get this off there with one hand. This, you can just take this whole thing off one-handed. So forget the snake hook on this. Even this will work with it. If it's on there, I can pull my keys off from my car, or take the whole thing off without having to remove this from my belt. So I wasn't excited about this, but now I'm actually kind of thrilled about this. Kind of interested to see how this works for me. This is the Zac Tool tactical keyring holder, and this was only $5. So out of all the stuff that I ordered this time, this was probably what I struggled with the most. The Parker Jotter pen. It's a pretty common pen for EDC. The problem I ran into was I wanted a tactical pen or something different, something smaller or whatever. I didn't have the money in the budget to get a Fisher Space Pen Bullet or anything that's just a little more expensive. I had to try to stay under that $10 mark, and it was actually kind of tough to get a nice pen for under that. There were plenty of Parker Jotters. I just honestly didn't want to go with the Parker Jotter. I'm not a huge fan of the look of it to begin with, but it is a fine pin. Plenty of people love these pins, and I like the inserts. I like the actual pin insert, the ink. But I'm just not a huge fan of the appearance. I've actually never held one, but it is a click pin. Very, very clicky, very lightweight. This is the stainless version with the gold clip. I wanted the green version because they did have a green version of this, but from my understanding, the green listing on Amazon, a lot of people in the reviews were saying that it was listed as green, but they weren't actually getting a green one. They were actually getting a blue one or a silver one. So I figured let's stick with something a little more reliable. This is a blue insert for the blue ink, but you of course can buy Parker Jotter refills. I've got plenty of them from the Big Idea Design pins, but that's the Parker Jotter. I actually only paid $8.98 for this pin, so pretty inexpensive, at least compared to some of the others. I was looking at the X701, is that what it is? The new tactical zebra pin, but I wasn't gonna pay $15. I didn't have the money in the budget. And because of this, I actually ended up coming in a few dollars under budget. In fact, it was only $92.12 for everything. So I was actually almost $8 under budget. And it was because this ended up being so much cheaper. So we're stuck with the Parker Jotter. I think it's fine. It's a pin, it writes. That's really all that matters. We had the money in the budget, we got the Parker Jotter. Moving on. Next up, the flashlight. This was something that gave me some trouble too, because we were right at that cutoff. If I had put a little more money into the flashlight, we could have gotten something really nice, like a Streamlight Stylus Pro USB or MicroStream USB, but we didn't have quite enough. Like if the budget were 110, here we are with the Lumentop Tool AAA. Last time we also went with Lumentop, we got the Twist flashlight from them, the EDC 01. This one is actually quite similar, but it's a tail switch. Also a AAA flashlight, and what's inside the box is pretty much the same. You got your spare O-rings down here in the very bottom. You have a key clip here at the top. Get out. You've got a diffuser, and then of course just materials, the warranty information and everything. Once again, the Lumentop tool did not come with a battery inside. I had the foresight to check that before I came into the office. So this is a tail switch flashlight. It's got 3 modes. You click to turn on, so you don't select your mode first. You turn on and then half press to cycle through your modes. You've got your low, which is 5 lumens, a high, which is 110 lumens, and the medium is the third, that is 32 lumens. And it is weird. I don't know why flashlight manufacturers do that low, high, medium, rather than just cycling through low, medium, high. But this is much smaller than I actually expected it to be. And pretty neat little flashlight. You do get that diffuser with it as well, which will glow in the dark. Don't know that I will ever use this, but pretty neat to have, I guess. I don't know. Maybe for camping. I don't know what you would use this for. The only thing I can think of is using this in a tent while camping. Otherwise, I mean, I'm not sure what the purpose of the diffuser is. It diffuses, but why? There you go. That is the Lumentop Tool AAA. That was $16.88. They're still the same price, but I believe I clipped a coupon on this one to get $3 off. Or something like that. But like I said, we were right there at the cutoff. We were just below getting a much nicer flashlight, but for the price, $16.88, this is fantastic. And actually, comparatively, I like this more than the Olight i3T EOS just because it's so much smaller. You're getting about the same lumens. I think the i3T is a little bit brighter, but you're grasping at straws when you're looking at the difference between 110 and 180 lumens. There's not really a noticeable difference in those. And this, I like that you can cycle through the modes without actually turning the flashlight back off. So much smaller, and in my opinion, a better interface. That is the Lumentop Tool AAA. And once again, the last thing here is the knife, and I honestly feel like I scored on this knife because the steel wheel cut jack is probably one of the best bangs for your buck that you can get in a knife, period, under 50 bucks. Thing is, I actually realized that I got a pretty good deal on this knife because this knife normally runs about 40 bucks, if not a little bit more. But we actually only ended up paying $29.37. So the steel wheel cut jack is a flipper knife, liner lock. This has D2 steel. This is the mini version, so it's a little shorter. It's a 3-inch blade versus a 3.5-inch blade. You got great ergonomics. You have FRN scales and a nice little finger choil there for choking up on the knife. I have to be completely honest. I didn't like the appearance of this knife the first time somebody suggested it to me, but the more I looked at it, the more I was like, hey, that's not too bad. I'd like to actually try it out. So when I started this video, this was one of the ones I wanted to try to get for under $100 on the complete EDC. And the fact that I found this one in the OD green, in D2, in the mini, for $29 is pretty impressive, I think. So the clip position is tip up only, but you can choose left or right-handed. And you've got this G10 backspacer, or it might be FRM, but you have a backspacer back here with a lanyard loop in it. The overall length of this knife is 7 inches. It's 4 inches closed, and it's only 3 ounces, which brings me to my next point. This knife is actually, and some people are probably going to disagree with me here, but this knife is like a really nice middle ground between the CRKT Polar Large and the Benchmade Bug Out. And the reason I'm saying that is you don't get that Wharncliffe or sheep's foot blade. You have this drop point blade. It's about the same cutting edge, maybe a little bit different, and it's super lightweight. So you've got similar ergonomics to the Polar Large, but you've got that same lightweight feel to the Bug Out. It's not quite as light. The Bug Out is only 1.8 ounces and this one is 3, but it's still a very, very lightweight knife, and you have the same blade steel. So you're getting D2 blade steel with a very similar ergonomics to one of my favorite knife designs, but you're getting a bigger, longer cutting edge. And I think this is a fantastic buy at $40, but at $30, it's a no-brainer. The action was one of the things that people were concerned with on this knife, especially in the reviews, but it's great. It's not on bearings, which the higher-end version of the Cut Jack, which has M390 steel, those are on bearings, but these are just on phosphor bronze bushings, and the action is great. I've not touched this thing. I've not touched it up, tweaked it in any way. This is straight out of the box, and there is no problem with the flipper action, and it wants to just close. I have to kind of shake it, but it will drop close like that. So fantastic buy. I am really happy to add this to my collection, especially for $30. So that's it. This is the budget EDC that I came up with for $100. I think I did pretty good. You guys let me know how you think I did in the comments down below, and if you think you could do better, let me know. And if you want to see different versions of this video, let me know what you would like to see. We've got different budgets we can work with, we have different stores we can work with, and I can experiment with doing this in person at a store like Walmart, or somebody actually I think suggested Goodwill last time. There are tons of different ways that we can go about doing this series. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. This one in particular was frustrating because we were right there at that limit where I could almost splurge and get something really nice for the price without blowing the budget altogether, but then I've got to skimp on things, and I've gone pretty cheap on some of these other things like a $6 wallet and a $5 key dangler, but yeah, it was a very frustrating budget to work with. And again, this is not saying, hey, buy this stuff for $100. It's just a thought experiment of what you can do with $100. It's to show you that you don't have to get, junk if your budget doesn't allow. You can save up and put $100 towards one thing. But again, if you've only got $100 to work with and you're starting and you're just getting into this, these are the things that you could get, and they're all great. This right here is a phenomenal knife, and I would recommend it to anybody looking at a knife under $50, and it's only $30. So that gives you another $20 to work with something. But with that said, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see me carry this for 2 weeks straight, no alternatives, no swapping anything out, this exact gear for 2 weeks, hit that thumbs up button down below. And if you hit 2,000 likes with that, I will carry this as my personal EDC for 2 weeks. But also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. And if you want to support the show and you want to purchase any of this stuff, hit those links down below. Those are affiliate links and they give us a little bit of a kickback. And you can also go to patreon.com/bestdamnedc. And be sure to follow us around the web. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at bestdamnedc. You can find me, Taylor Martin, on Twitter and Instagram at CasperTech. And until next time, carry on.